I've never shown this art. Okay, here was what I called my first good background. First good background, yeah, looks pretty good. Oh, 16-year-old Taylor Payton. What's up, art family? Today, I'm going to be looking at my beginner art, reacting to it, and fixing it. This is really early on in my development, and I really was just hacking it as best I could, trying to work off of whatever little bits of information I could pick up, and it's frankly very, very embarrassing. So, that said, I'm going to just kind of take you through the gallery. I'm going to try not to cringe out of my skin, and we're going to try to copy and paste some of those pieces into Photoshop and draw them again and talk about why they're not working and how they could be working. All right, sound good? Let's go. Oh man, hey, there's me. Look at, this is me at, what was this, 2005, August? I was 14 years old. I'm 29 now, so that gives you a little context about this gallery. This is little me with my little face. You can compare it to this face. It was, 15 years ago. So a lot of this is flash animation. I used to be really interested in animation, and it's because I love anime and I really wanted to make my own animes. I even, did some sort of weird rendition of myself in classic Chinese attire. I don't know. I honestly don't know, guys. I wish I could tell you more. Here was what I called my first good background. First good background. Yeah, looks pretty good. It's looking real good. Looking like a good background there. Oh boy, I need some cucumber water. My spirit is dehydrating. I don't even know if I can fix this, but we'll try. I love you guys. That's why I'm putting myself through this. Yeah, Leapboy. Ooh boy. Oh goodness. I don't know what to say about that. That's a lot right there. Why don't we redo Leapboy just for fun? Yeah, just lots of crazy characters. I guess I drew this guy on paper, and first OC attempt, I guess it was. I'll make better stuff later. Little did I know that later is now. So we're going to make this better. We're going to do 14, 15-year-old me a favor. 2006, I was 15. Okay, let's grab a couple more. I think I had the Ninja Turtles robbing the bank. That's fun. It's a good old time there. This dude, I redrew this dude for the free lesson on the emailing list at beginnerdrawingcourse.com, the free lessons tab. This was one of the best hands I could do back in the day. I must have used reference because it's not completely awful, albeit very inaccurate and sausage-like. I understood a little bit about, how old was I? I was still not 16, I was 15. I understood a little bit about like the weighting of lines and a little bit about how the thinner lines would give you volume. So that's interesting. You can already tell how much better you'll be with a reference, but you just don't copy it mindlessly to create something very boring. You copy it to study so you can make something cool. This will actually make a great thumbnail for the video because people don't click my video thumbnails unless I draw something sexy. And this was naughty me, Mew face. I'm a bad boy. Yep. Oh, 16-year-old Taylor Payton. What were you thinking? Anyway, so let's throw that in. Well, I guess we have the Neko waitress. Neko. She's a waitress who gets her butt pinched a lot. She's walking home from work. Finally put forth some effort, LOL. Yeah, I think that's about it for this. Oh, God. All these animations. This is somebody getting hit with a pie. That's pretty great, actually. Yeah, I used to love animation, man. I went to school for it. I graduated in it, but I'm an illustrator concept artist now, / teacher, of course. But we don't always follow the exact path we think we're going to follow, just because it's like, your tastes change, really, and you got to follow what you can stand to do. So I think that's about it. Walking through Cringe Town for now. I mean, I put up 123 deviations and only 17 people watched me. That's where we were at. let's start with one of these things. We'll do the background first. And by the way, like, you shouldn't feel bad if I'm making fun of this stuff. Like, I'm fine making fun of myself. If you're at this level or a similar level, it doesn't matter if you're, 12 years old or, 50, 60 years old. We all start somewhere, and I've been doing this a while, just to let you know. So first and foremost, I'm just going to draw a quick little picture plane sketch so that I can not just draw in the big nebulous white space. I'm also going to take my background and not make it so glaringly white because it's very difficult to judge values accurately. And then I'm going to redraw this drawing using 2-point perspective, because that's kind of what I was inferring with the house. I mean, it's actually more 1 point. If like the horizon line would be about right here if I did set up perspective, and then I would extrapolate outward. God, that's a really thick line. Extrapolate way out in terms of the guidelines to help give it a focus, but it's going to be a really weird convergence at 1 point perspective, so we'll go for 2 in the example here. So that'll be pretty solid. I could drop the rocks and trees in and some of the hillside stuff after that. So this is my first initial guideline. I'll set up some red ones as well, just so I can have some vertical and horizontals. Is I can move and adjust it wherever I want. So if I want to include the roof in this picture plane, I can take it right there and just pop it. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. I like it a third down, so I scaled it. And the horizon line is about 40% up, the picture plane there. And those will be good enough as far as our initial guides go, which I didn't set up and didn't understand when I first drew this image. This wonderful, lovely, beautiful, first good BG image. All right, so flip the canvas for fun. Oh, it looks even worse on the other side, man. Oh, okay. So now we got to sketch in this cabin. All right, so hey, this is time skip version of Taylor. In the past, other Taylor got tired of working on the background and wanted to move on to some of the character pieces as he felt they would be more interesting. So I'm just going to leave this one here for now. Maybe I'll return to it in another video. As you can see, we have perspective and the inference of some other objects and interesting elements in the scene. We have some foreground, some midground, some background, and a reasonable degree of accuracy to what a blocked-in version of a cabin amidst some mountains and some woods would look like. And the thing I want you to take away from this one is that a solid sketch is way better than a flawed finish. You can pretty much stop at any time so long as you are happy with where you're at and it's not laden with mistakes, and you could keep pushing things up the pipeline if you wanted. If you really are seeing too many issues, then it's time to kind of circle back in your process to find out where those things were, so you don't just charge ahead and end up with this. Good old Leapboy with his glasses and his fist up and his hoodie that's really flat. All right, so, and then there's like no legs. Like, what's going on? So first and foremost, we just have to redraw this, of course. Now it's going to be based off of this pose, which means that the line of action, and that one wouldn't be quite right. That one looks a little bit better. So we'll go with this. This head shape is what we'll start with. And we'll see just a little bit of the upper part, or the lower part of the jaw, because I want him to seem actually leet. So there's a super quick sketch of that concept that we can now roll over and make even more leet. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to drop the opacity and I'm going to clean up Leapboy real quick. I didn't even draw his mouth. Like I didn't draw a nose or a mouth on the previous character. Like that's not lead at all. He's so lead he doesn't need his mouth. How is he supposed to talk trash in chat? You ever get so mad when you're playing games, like you're playing online games and somebody just beats you so bad that you just start hitting your own thighs? I know you have. I know you have. Don't you lie to me. You've hit those thighs. Alright, so we're looking pretty lean. I could keep going, finish this guy up. It's pretty good for a demo drawing. So I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to cool off, and then we will go for the money shot. What's up, guys? So again, Taylor from the future or the present now? I don't know. Editing's weird. Anyway, I did get to some other drawings, which I will put up on the screen here just to show you. However, I figured the most entertaining one would probably be the best use of the time for the remainder of the video, even though I did redraw the other ones. You don't always need to see process for that. Basically, this one, it was weird, perverted 16-year-old me, and I'm still weird, but I'm way less perverted. I think. I don't know. We'll see if I get canceled. Anyway, in all sincerity, this drawing was really, really fun to redo. Not only because I got to get back to like a drawing that I actually got flack for when I uploaded this on a forum. Someone's like, her proportions are really short and this is not good in a lot of ways and blah, 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 blah. And I remember it really hurting me at the time. Like I looked up to this artist that said these things and they were like, yeah, she's really stubby and da, 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 da. And I kind of was devastated. But now I have honed my craft. I have spent years whooping up on my skills, and this is essentially my chance at redemption in some small sort of fun way. And I think that this one turned out pretty awesome. Even my girlfriend liked this one, which is saying a lot. She's like, it's sort of like Marilyn Monroe, and it's really simple. It's a pretty basic process, except you'll see I do some interesting sort of cell shading techniques, which I'm excited to share. But basically it's just the same stuff as previous drawings where you have your sketch, you have your frame or your panel in which to contain said sketch, especially when you're working on a large canvas. And then you just go over it with some sweet line art. And in this case, I'm using a size 6 hard round brush with pressure sensitivity turned on so that I can have an interesting sort of taper to the line. And you see me like do a line and redo a line, even though this is going at whatever, 5,000 times speed. Not 5,000 times, but 5,000%. So this probably took me about, I want to say 90-ish minutes. And yeah, I know it's like cheesecake or pin-up style stuff, but that can be fun once in a while. I've actually been commissioned to do pin-up work. It can be fairly lucrative. It's really kind of cool to get paid to do stuff that kind of gives people a feeling, even if that feeling is being horny on main. And I just had a little bit of a real throwback here for this one. But after I finished up the line art, I basically just go in, do a flat fill, and then I start to carve around all of the places where I went outside the lines like a bad little toddler. And then I go ahead and start to section off each of the areas with the colors that I do want there. In this case, I had sort of a nice little primary color palette going on the other one, and it was just kind of a boring angle. It's flat. There's no real aspect to it. It's just, again, her proportions are bad. Her face is like really wide-eyed. The hair, shape is weird. I will say I did sort of infer some nice little mark making. I don't know why I did it pixel art. I think I just had the tendency to experiment a lot back then, and I still do now, but it's more, it's different in terms of style. I don't jump quite so far, but you see like this, most of my drawings don't look like this. This is sort of like, kind of anime Western hybrid, which I guess is kind of what I do, but usually I try to err more on the anime side of things. But this is a little more Western looking to me in my eyes. I don't know. Let me know what you think below in the comment section. What I'm doing now is I have a multiply layer, and I'm just taking that and using it to have some shading across the board. I will use hue saturation as an adjustment, and it ended up being a very pink color to give me the shading I was looking for. I knew my light source was going to be coming from a pretty specific direction, so it was easy to configure that. And then I kind of got an album cover vibe from this one. Something that's just risque enough to work and to get your attention. There's a lot of bright color pop. It has a primary inspired color palette, but not quite so straightforward and saturated, like it looks like it was made in MS Paint or whatever. At the end, I did just sort of do the final little tweaks and finishes, little effects here and there, besides just going in with the multiply layer and adding the last shading shapes. I also, create a background and a little bit of a shadow at the very end, which you'll see. But I just want to take a second to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed me almost cringing out of my skin at points when it came to looking at my old art from when I was, 14 years up until about 17 years old. I kind of just forgot about that DeviantArt account until it popped into my head the other day. I knew it would be really fun to watch the video of somebody going through some of their old stuff. And like I said, it's been about 13 to 15 years I've been doing this pretty consistently. I took some longer breaks here and there just to learn how to do music or learn how to do something else that was really entertaining and fun and creative. Studied modeling and acting for a while, had some success with that, but ultimately I came back to art because it's just something that you can always do to express yourself, to amplify your skills, to find new avenues of developing your abilities. It's really, really awesome, and I wanted to just always kind of bring that point around that it all comes back to drawing. It all comes back to being able to get the idea of something and look at where you used to be, and then kind of take all of your new skills and bring them to bear in a way that gives it like a real redux, a real revision of the past. So I encourage you to do this if you haven't, even if it's something you just did a year ago or up to 10, 15 years ago in my case. It's crazy to even think that, but I really just want to say thanks for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. If you want to check out the courses at thebeginnerdrawingcourse.com, I highly recommend you do so to use the principles and fundamentals to escalate your own artistic abilities. Here is the final result, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and happy drawing. Man, my nightlight is awful. I look so blown out. I desperately need a camera. It's just unacceptable. Yeah, don't worry. I'll upgrade the camera eventually. I can grow the channel, grow more course sales, get more people in the mentorship, and then afford to buy a really nice camera. Thanks for your support as always. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video.